Hello and welcome to the stream. I don't even know if we've got any viewers at the moment. Probably not. No. Well, that's alright. It means we can have a nice, relaxed, easy start. So, back on the Wheel of Life today. So the last time I was in the animal realm and I was just starting to sketch in the flowers here, which you can see, and I'm probably I might come back and do some more vegetation kind of in the background here, but I think I'm probably going to leave the animal realm as it. Oh, I might do something on, put some snow on the mountains maybe. So today we're going to be in hell, because who doesn't like to be in hell, eh? So what I've done so far is I've done the people being impaled by bamboo, and we're now working on a guy being sawed in half by a slightly demonic magician, perhaps. Now then, I should probably share this on Twitter. Excellent, right. So today I'm going to hopefully definitely finish off the guy being sawn in half, and then I might these figures here need to be redone. The one at the very foreground here is probably fine, but I don't know, I'll maybe do those, maybe I'll leave them as they are, kind of slightly elongated. I noticed when I was working on the bamboo figures that I've got this head is in the completely wrong place. The neck. It's like half his neck has been removed. That's very funny. Right, now, I should have done this beforehand really. I'm just making a cigarette, so that's why I'm kind of chit-chatting, not actually doing any work. So, where are we over here? So I think what I'm currently working on at the moment is the figure that's on the table. And this is quite good. It will show you, it will give you an indication of how I'm colouring the image. Now, for the most part, I'm using a technique known as like I'm applying a gradient map over what's essentially a black and white image. So if I scroll out here, let's have a look at something that's been kind of done already. I mean, this is probably quite a good example actually. The trees. So here on the animal realm, let me see, animals, in the Titan realm, sorry. If I go to hills, it should be, or forest. If I go to forest, and then I turn off the gradient map, you'll see that it kind of goes black and white. Is that black and white? I'm guessing it is. They should be, yeah. So there's some underlying colour from a different layer. And if I turn the gradient map back on so we can see it, you'll see that it's kind of colorized in. So what a gradient map does is it applies a gradient to the colors. So say if you've got let's say you've got a simple gradient going from red to yellow, and then I applied it to this, the red parts would be where the shadows are and the yellow parts would be where the highlights are, and it will kind of you know, apply a nice gradient over it. It's a very good system. I kind of like it a lot. I'm also extensively using masks in this, just because, partly because I've not done it before and I wanted to try a new technique. So I've been using this like crazy. I'm gonna have to say I do like masks. I've started using them in Photoshop now, and it's nice because you can do stuff with it and it's non-destructive. That's what I like about it. So, you know, rather than if you make a mistake, especially in Photoshop where you can only undo one move and then you have to go into like the history, being able to erase parts of the image and then later change your mind and like bring those erased bits back is very, very useful. I've also been getting into smart filters on Photoshop. So I might at some point do a Photoshop image. I've got an idea for doing some character designs for a project. You know, I'm kind of ruminating, so we'll see. Maybe I'll do it for that. I think this demon dude, I might just redo him completely. I don't like the proportions. Maybe not. I might just leave it as it is. I think what I might do is, rather than obsessing over how well I've done various parts of this, can I just get on with the image, do it, and then we'll, you know, I can always start a new image next time and work more on, you know, getting it looking nice and whatnot. Right, now then, this is slightly annoying me, the autosave. I'm going to turn that down to, you can't actually see what I'm doing because it's, let me see, let me just, it's going to be on file, isn't it? I'm going to change that to save every 30 minutes. Right, okay, so let's, now the image is going to be, I can't remember whether it's I think it's A1, so it's going to be quite large, because I kind of want to do it so that, you know, it could be made into a poster, I suppose. So let me see, what are we on? We're on down here probably, no. Oh, that's the wrong, let me see, hell, there we go. Man, is that where we are? Yes it is. I'm using a skin brush, which is like a brush that I downloaded from the asset store. I quite like the way this application handles assets. You download them from within, like the launcher. Now, this bit of the arm here, I'm going to actually colour in, just like colour it in, because obviously that's going to have to be red. Let's get some deep shadows in, just around the edges. Let's make the brush a bit smaller. again, that this leg is wrong. To be honest, it's been quite a long time since I've drawn on a kind of regular basis. I mean, I've been doing the odd bits here and there, but it's probably been, you know, a good year or two. And when you don't, you know, when you don't keep up with a skill, well, they perish, don't they? So, okay. And of course, down here, yeah, let's not forget this. So, that's under the table, so it would be in shadow, wouldn't it? Okay. Excuse me. Right. Let's apply a layer mask to that. Not a layer mask, a gradient map. Let me see, what have I done over here? Right, okay. Yeah, that's porcelain, isn't it? Right, yeah, sorry if my voice goes a bit quiet, but you know, tough. So maybe I'm not sorry. Let's see. Okay. Let's make that lighter. Okay. Right, I'm an idiot. Wrong layer. Here we go. This foreleg is ridiculous. Whoever this evil dude was, he obviously really favoured his right leg when exercising. Like big time. It's quite warm. Let's do you and some shadow and take you down in size to about, say, 5. Yeah. Let's get some darkness in there. Yeah, like that. Now if we take you up a bit and say 60. Oh, that's too much. Brush density. Yeah, it's better. Let's take you down. Size. That'll do. I think it's. Yeah, okay. Now, what we're going to do is create another layer. This is going to be colour. Nice bright red. What do we need? Maybe a pen. But probably not a textured pen. Let's go for a G pen. Now, I don't like that demon. I don't like him. He's facing the wrong way. I'm going to have to redo him. So, okay, what we're going to do? Let's turn, right, demon, has that got his own ink? No, okay. So, we'll turn you off, and we'll turn table off. There's turn you off, and we've got a saw as well. Let's turn you off. The saw can probably stay where it is. Let me see. Let's turn you off, and the ground. Okay. I think the first thing we need to do is get rid of the inks. Let's just tell you what, let's just turn them down for now. We'll leave them in there. I can always get rid of them later. Do I have a sketch layer for this? No, well, let's create one. A pencil. Mechanical. Nice. Okay, that'll do. So, now then, let me have a look. I'm going to use a reference, sort of. A long time ago, I kind of taught myself this technique of drawing a human figure, which was developed by a guy called Bern Hogarth. And it's a really good system. but because I've not, I've not been keeping up with my drawing, especially, you forget stuff. So, but I bought the book again recently, so. Now in his system, let me see if I can do this without referencing the book. Alright, so we start off with the chest, because that's the most important body part. And then the pelvic block. And then his feet is going to be there, isn't it? So round. His legs are quite short, but that's fine because he's a demon, right? So we can have this coming back here and down for the cloven hoof. Does that make sense? I think that does. So this, how would this be? This would come up and then up round here, wouldn't it? If this was a real leg, a real cloven hoofed leg. I think that is too low. Okay, no, I like that. I like that. Yeah, nice. I think that's better. That leg needs to be further back, doesn't it? Let's get rid of all of you. So, if I draw a line, nope, yep, I'm so good at art, man. I can't even draw a line where I want it to go. Oh my word. Yeah, no, that's good. Okay, so this is going to come down here, that's going to come down there, and then here. This is the front of the leg, so we're going to get the hoof coming round, and then up and up. Now, admittedly, a lot of this isn't actually going to be seen, but the body needs to make sense, I suppose. Let's get rid of you. All right. We don't need this line, I suppose. Let's get rid of that. So, okay. So if this is the centre, that means that's the centre. So this is going to come up and round. That means he's going to have this is the clavicle of the chest. So if I remember correctly, the shoulder just comes round here, and then the arm comes down. So I think that's all fine. The arm, as it was before, is probably fine. As was this one down here. I think that's probably fine as well, actually. It was just, so yeah, it was actually the head and the torso that were in the wrong place. That's much better, I think. And let's bring you down here. Okay, yeah, no, that's so I think the arm is fine. That torso is much better, so that means his head now is going to be more 3/4 profile, which I really hate drawing. So let's give him a big chin with a grin, because he's a happy demon, he likes his work. And that's That's going to have to come round and up, I think. Yep, nice. And then the nose up here. So we're going to have this horn slightly curved round here, and then the head comes up and round the neck, which goes there. So this is still wrong. I mean, it's been a long time. It's fine. It's better though. It's better than it was. And at least the head is much better placed. And the torso. Right. So I didn't really need the book after all. Let's, so we're going to take you down to about there. Go back to the inks, bring you up. And we are going to start erasing. I think the arm is fine. I'm going to leave the arm. You, and you, and you. That hand is fine, I think. Let's get rid of you, and you, and you. Nice. That's going to be a G pen. It's going to be black. Make that 3. That should be a bit thinner, but 3 is fine, I think. I'll leave it at 3 for now. So the back is going to come down here. Nice. Leg is going to come round. Excellent. Now, do I want to make this fairy? Thing is, it means I will have to probably redo the inks for that for this figure. That's, you know, fine, I suppose. So up here, let's zoom in a bit. So let's find the easily identifiable. You know what? Too thick. Let's bring it down to 1.5. All right. No, I think that's looking good. What is that on? Different layer. Interesting. Hell, so inks, bamboo, saw, flogging, lake, cauldron, mountains. No, that doesn't make any sense. It can't be that. It must have been. I'm not being very organised with this since I've got stuff slightly all over the place. Right, it's not that layer. Inks. 6 realms. Oh, okay. Well, let's find out. Is it in the inks? No. Fair enough. It's got to be in the actual Hell realm then. Inks. Is it in inks? There's nothing in inks. So I should just delete this. Delete. Right, is it in bamboo? It is in bamboo. That's silly. Okay. It's not in bodies. It's not in sticks. It's there. Right. Gotcha. Man, all of that. Find that one wrong thing. Right, where are we now? Ink. That's eraser, pen. There you go. Alright, let's have a look. Let's turn off the sketch. Is that this one? That's better. At least he's kind of facing the right way now. Let's come down here, bring it down there. I think we are going to have to make that furry. But that means we can bring stuff back. Not you. Alright, what else have we got missing? How is it going to auto-save? Auto-save! This will just take a second. Oh, excuse me. So you can't see it at the moment, but it's still saving. Right, there we go. What else we're bringing back? Mountains, ground. Oh, and the demon. Yeah, saw demon. Right. Rather than turning the folders off, I turn the layers off. Well, that's silly. Okay. So of course, now that we've redrawn the figure, we need to redo the mask. All right then, let me see. Marker, millipen, let's bring this down to 5, just to start off with. And we're going to be working on the demon here. Now, this is slightly different to Photoshop. In Photoshop, you do masks by working with black and white on the alpha channel. Whereas with this application, Clip Studio Paint, you use a colour to... Okay, let's first of all, is that the whiteness? That is the whiteness. Let's just make sure that we're filling this in as much as we can. So we're going to pick up the brush and we're basically going to draw paint. Now, I know it doesn't look like I'm painting anything, but I am, I promise. Right, and we go back up to the mask layer. So we need to get rid of this. So what I'm actually doing with this is I'm painting on the transparency, so I actually have the transparency selected, and then and that is the mask, and then where I want the colour to appear, I change that to the colour. It doesn't matter what colour I pick, like I'm going to do it in red, but it will be irrelevant because I'm not actually painting the colour, I'm painting the mask. So let me just fill this in. That's going over, but I just want to get the line, and then I'll go back and erase where it shouldn't be. Well, not erase, but mask off where it shouldn't be. Right. Okay. That can be filled in. Change the anti-aliasing a little bit so it's more solid. I know what I said doesn't actually make any sense. But we're just going to ignore that, alright? We'll just pretend that never happened. Up here needs some more. Now that's going to bug me. Where's that? What is that? Is that in the table? No. No, it's not the man. It's not the demon. It's not the saw. Okay, so that is on the level of either the mountains or the ground. So let's assume it's the ground. It's probably the mountains though, but it doesn't really matter. We got into there and colour. Thank you. Just fill that in. Nice. All right. Let's bring things back. Now, where am I? I'm working on the demon mask. There we go. Nice. Now this is probably a horribly efficient way of doing it, but I kind of, in certain respects, am quite old-fashioned. So, you know, I've got this, you know, fancy bit of kit, this Cintiq, and you know, software that does all this fancy stuff, and I mostly use it like it's a paintbrush or a pencil, like on paper. But that's fine. I mean, for me, in certain respects, it's like the process of actually doing the art is just as important as the end result, or more so in a way. Like, I don't do it necessarily for the end results, which might not be that great because I'm not that fantastic of an artist. So, okay, that's better, I think. I just want to tidy up this. Yeah, okay, that'll do. Right, so how am I going to approach? Well, first of all, we need another line down there, don't we? G pen black. Let's make it 3. Right. Okay. Alright. That's the sketch layer, so let's just delete you, we don't need you anymore. Okay, Mr. Demon, how are we going to do you? Let's do pencils. Yeah, okay. Oh, that's quite dark, isn't it? And I want that on a new layer, and let's also make it grayscale and make that a bit lighter. Yeah, okay, that's how I'll do. Let me see the neck, it should be in there, shouldn't it? This is all wrong. This is like a mutant demon. He's a happy chappy, isn't he? This is a gentleman or gentle lady, not going to assume its gender, that enjoys its work. Now here's an interesting philosophical, theological, metaphysical question. Do demons have free will? Like, what is a demon? Can a demon decide to stop being a demon? Like, let's assume that the Abrahamic monotheistic traditions are correct, right? And there's like a god and an adversary, like the devil. Can the devil decide to stop being the devil? I might ask that of a, if I ever debate a theologian again. I do quite like the pencil brushes. I quite like the brush engine on this bit of software. It's called Clip Studio Paint. I should have put a description in the link really, shouldn't I? A link in the description. I'll do that. No, I can do that now. Let me just do that. Clip Studio Paint. It's kind of cheap. There's 2 packages. I've got the cheaper package. I am kind of interested in doing comics, so maybe I'll get the more expensive upgrade when it's on sale. Now, can I edit the description while I'm streaming? Oh, I can. Excellent. There we go. Yeah, that's nice. All right. Let's carry on. I think for down here, let's go darker pencil. It's 1.5. Yeah, I like that. So I think we are going fair, aren't we? Yeah. I'm not going to bother about changing the outline, it's just going to be what it is, I think. I think one of the good things about having fur is that I don't have to include huge, monstrous penises or other sexual organs. You know, while I don't mind drawing sexual organs, I mean, you know, you can see in the figure that's on the table there is, you know, very simplified genitals. I think it's good to make it, you know, try and avoid prurient. Try and avoid it being too prurient, because, you know, it is after all meant to be an inspirational image. Now you might ask, well, what's inspirational about Hell Shiva? That looks pretty fucking rubbish. And yeah, I'd be inclined to agree, you know. But the important thing to bear in mind about Buddhism, I think, and Buddhist teachings, is that, like, the 6 realms, you know, if you're in hell, you're not there forever. Traditionally, it said you're there until the karma that propelled you there has expired. But now you could look at that as like it being something metaphysical that happens over lifetimes, or you can view the realms as psychological states of mind that you might move into, you know, at different points in the day, let alone different points in your life. You know, you could be in a psychological hell realm in the morning and be in a relative, you know, psychological heaven realm later, right? And that's how I tend to view them. You know, it's like a map of the mind rather than a literal description of you know, metaphysical realms. I think that's one of the things that I really like about Buddhism actually, is that it doesn't, like, you don't have to, like the Buddha himself was, you know, saying, himself said, well, you don't have to believe in rebirth in order to practice. You know, if you believe in rebirth, then great. The reason why you're practicing is because, you know, you're practicing for whatever the results will be in the next life, right? But if you don't believe in rebirth, well, you can still practice. It's just that your reasons for doing so are different, because you're doing it for the benefits that you'll experience in this life, right? You know, and I don't know if, like, meditation gives you a better rebirth, because I don't know if rebirth is a thing that's real, right? But what I do know is that it makes you happier, you know, or I mean, happy is not quite the right word. It has, I find it has beneficial results. So, you know, yeah, that was a long rambling discussion about aspects of Buddhist doctrine on the basis of whether I'm going to draw a penis. Right. Now, with these, sometimes I kind of forget that these dudes are actually quite small in the image, so I don't need to go too mental on detail. But I do want to maybe split up. No, you know what? Fuck it. Let's apply a gradient map. And I want it to be kind of red. The sky has quite a nice, let's make it that. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to create a new gradient in, oh, set. I'm going to call this set wheel. I'd kind of forgotten. I'd actually reinstalled the software. Now, I want more shadow in the shadow. That probably makes a little sense. And I think the highlight color, let's make you, now I'm aware you can't actually see what I'm doing. Let me see, OBS, studio mode. You know what, let's just add display capture so you can actually see all the little windows that pop up. Yeah, okay. So let's, we'll turn you off and we'll do a nice little transition. There we go. So you can actually see what I'm looking at there. So what am I doing? I'm going to make that yellow, I think. Oh, that's horrible, isn't it? That is pretty horrible. Yeah, that's pretty damn awful. Should I make that green? Let's make that one green. Oh no. No. Right, sky, red, that's fine. What I am going to do though is use an airbrush, and we're going to put some shadows, and let's zoom in down here. Let's make the brush smaller. Oh, first of all, let's make the gradient map multiply. Oh, that's better. All right, yeah. And we'll just put some shadows in down here to make this darker. Yeah, nice. Now, we are going to need another layer up there. And what we're going to use, a pen, probably G pen, make that white. And let's just do that. In fact, let's make you green. Let's give him green eyes. Oh, that's horrible. Alright, his teeth are a bit mental bright, aren't they? Let's make those yellow as well. Oh, you know what? Let's let's do that. Yep, nice. Okay. What's next? What don't I want to do? I don't want to do the Lake of Fire because I don't know how I'm going to do the flames. Maybe I should do that. Do that now. How am I going to do the Lake of Fire? Does it need to be fire? No. Can it be green? Yes. It doesn't have to be red. It can be a different colour. It doesn't have to be... Right, you know what, let's delete you. I want to delete you, yes I do. Goodbye. Right, a lake. Let's actually do something different. Rather than doing it in black and white and then applying a gradient map, let's actually just paint it in colour. Right, let's use a flat watercolour brush. Yeah, oh. See, this thing has some really nice brushes. I like it. Okay. Oi, I didn't mean to do that. Now, am I correct in thinking liquids get darker when they get further away? I think that's right. That's too big, far too big. What size are we on? 20, okay, let's take it down to 10. Take it down, he says. Let's put some yellow in there to make it a bit more scummy. Multiply. Let's bring you, if we want that above the lake. Right, so that's going to be kind of mist. Let's bring you up. So that has to be, that's the inks, isn't it? Is that right? Yeah, no, that needs to go back down in there, that's fine. Is that this one? No, that's that. Oh, where did I accidentally drop it into one of these? What the hell? That's the one. So let's turn you off for a moment. Okay. Right, let me see. Let's do some smudging. Oh yeah, like that. Oh, we do. Yeah, we want some areas like bright green in there to give it a kind of slightly glowing, kind of, you know, nuclear, poisonous, toxic Avenger feel. And we've got half our autosave. Well, you know, it is what it is. did want some of that. So we are going to go, let's go round watercolour. I'm going to go bright green. Not loads, just a little bit, and then back to fingertip to smudge some of that in. Now, if we turn the mist back on, oh, look at that, that's nice, isn't it? I like that. Yeah. What was I using for the mist? I can't remember. Was it a brush? I think it was a watercolour brush, wasn't it? Probably round. It's not a watercolour brush. At least it's not the round watercolour brush. Was it a soft bleed? Yeah, okay, I think it was a soft bleed. Ooh. No. Let's put you in a folder. So yes, it's not so. So it's not so defined. And let's also take it down to say 50. Like that. What happens if we multiply that? what about darken? We could darken. Makes no difference. Right. I think I'm going to leave it there for now. Yeah. Oh, we've got a new viewer. 3. Well, maybe I should carry on. Well, actually, I do need. I need to take a break, really. Yeah, no, I think I'm going to take a break there and leave it there for now. I might come back to this later on today, or maybe not. You know, I've got other. It might be, yeah. I mean, I might come back to this later today. We'll see. All right. I hope you enjoyed that. I'll see you next time.